Hey y'all, we're here in Key West, Florida. Been hanging out here for about the last 2 weeks. We wanted to stop though and interrupt your regular stream of videos that we've been publishing and do one that's in real time as opposed to where we are right now. We wanted to stop and say thank you to all the people who have enabled us to be able to do this great sailing adventure. First and foremost, we want to thank God, through whom all things are possible and without whom nothing happens. He's certainly been with us, and we've seen him everywhere we've gone over this entire trip. Next, we want to thank our parents, Charlotte's mom and my mom and dad, and for all their love and support and encouragement and help that they've given us and being able to get the boat refitted and encouraging us to keep going and to do this even when things got tough. I also want to thank our friends Will and Tracy, friends of the family for years now. And Will and Tracy have been vital counsel to us, people that we call and ask lots and lots of questions and give us lots and lots of advice. Great friends, wonderful friends to help us make sure we're doing things right. I also want to thank our friends from Kemah at Waterford Harbor, Michael and Amber. Also great friends of ours, fantastic counsel. They've got thousands of nautical miles logged sailing. And I spend a lot of time calling Michael and asking him to fact check my math on weather data and places that we're going to anchor and things that we're going to do. And he's a great counsel. So I just want to say thank you, Michael and Amber, for all of your friendship, your advice, and your counsel. We also want to thank some folks who helped us refit the boat. Number one, I want to thank Steve Madison with Gulf Crossings Marine. Steve, thank you so much for your friendship and your advice and your counsel and all the sanity checks and showing me how to do things. Steve's a guy that, while he has his own marine business, he would take time out of his schedule to come over to the boat and show me how to do things so I could refit the boat myself. I learned so much from that guy. Steve, thank you so much. You're a great friend and you're a true craftsman. Also want to thank Judson and Matt from Mockingbird Marine. Great company run by two great human beings who will just bend over backwards to help you out. Matt even went out with us on a weekend one time to help calibrate our autopilot. Most people just don't do things like that. So thank you, Judson and Matt from Mockingbird. You're great people. We really appreciate all your help and support. We also want to thank everybody who works at Blackburn Marine in Kemah, Texas. This is not a sponsored video by them, but that's a great store run by great people. I think I single-handedly kept them in business for about a year and a half. I was in there at least once a day, sometimes 2 and 3 times a day, picking up the odd bit or bob I needed to work on the boat. And the great thing about it is those are people who also explain to you how to use what you buy and make sure that you did buy the right thing for what it is that you're gonna do. So thank you very much, Blackburn Marine. I also want to throw a shout out and a thank you to Kevin Hayes at Hayes Rigging, also in Kemah, Texas. Kevin, thank you so much for helping us get the mast down and then back up again and tuning the rigging. Kevin and his guys went up the mast to change out the light at the top and put on our new instruments and set up the davit system with the pulleys on there for us, installed our new radar and radar mount for us. Kevin, you're a great guy and you run a great business, and we really, really appreciate you. Also want to say thank you to Mason at Southern Boat Works. We spent about 5 months on the hard getting some structural work done on the boat. Mason and his crew did a great job getting things squared away on the boat for us, so thanks to Mason as well. Also want to say thank you to Charlie. He's over there in the same neck of the woods as him. Charlie's a guy that built our, if you're in Kemah, you know who Charlie is, but he built the arch on the back of our boat. Great design, Charlie. It's doing wonderful. It's fantastic. You're a 1 in a million kind of guy, and we miss you, man. And then also want to say thank you to Chris Dufour in Louisiana, who came out and fixed our engine for us when we had a blown head gasket, and then came out to Mississippi and worked on our, helped rebuild the fuel injection pump when we needed that. And Chris is a guy that, even though we're not paying him for business anymore, I can still send him texts or phone calls or pictures to ask him questions about the engine, and he's always there for us with great advice, and he knows that engine, understands it, and my level of understanding and knowledge of it has just gone up exponentially since working with Chris. So Chris, thank you so much for all your help. Also want to give a shout out to 2 of our friends from Waterford Harbor, our port and starboard dock buddies, David and Evan. David, thanks for all the time in your cockpit that we would spend with a drink and a cigar, solving all the world's problems, and the counsel that you gave me there. You're a great friend, and I really appreciate all of the time, and we miss you. And also to Evan and Wendy next door. Thank you so much for being great friends and great dock mates. Also, you know, Evan, I got to tell you, a lot of the recommendations you've given us have been really clutch. You've come in a pinch a couple times when you just happen to miraculously text or call at just the time when we're sitting there scratching our heads wondering how we're going to solve a problem. And you're like, oh, just do this or just go there. And you've always been spot on. So Evan, thank you so much for all your counsel. You're a really great friend. And then last but definitely not least, I'd be a terrible captain if I didn't thank my crew. So first I want to thank my executive officer. Thank you, XO, my wife, my soulmate, my travel buddy. Thank you, baby, for provisioning us and keeping us straight and sanity checking and for making sure that I do the homework I'm supposed to do to get us from point A to point B safely. Thank you so much for all the night watches that you pull so I can get some sleep. You are an amazing travel buddy and a great partner. I'm so glad that I couldn't imagine doing this with anybody else, sweetheart. So thank you to my XO. I also want to thank my deckhands, Thomas and Mia. Great job, you two. I really appreciate all the hard work that these two kids have put in. They do everything that I ask them to do. When the captain calls, they answer. And they don't answer with attitude, which is really amazing since they are teenagers. So I really appreciate the great positive attitude that you've stepped to and done all the things I asked you to do when it was things that you didn't want to do at times that you didn't want to do it, but it needed to happen. So thank you very much for our crew. So that about wraps it up for today for this captain's vlog. Just wanted to stop, like I said, and say thank you to everybody who helped us get here, because we certainly didn't do it by ourselves. So we're gonna get back on schedule. Thanks a lot, and we'll see you in the videos.